Welcome, family. Thank you so much for tuning in today to Conscious Conversations. I'm your girl, Queen Hannah Bay. Today's topic of conversation is the ADOS movement. Now, there is a movement coming up in America that is going to affect the upcoming elections, and that is the ADOS movement. Then that movement is entitled ADOS, which stands for the American Descendants of Slavery. Now, this movement has been created by Yvette Carnell and Antonio Moore. Yvette Carnell has a show which is on YouTube, which is entitled Breaking Brown. And Antonio Moore also has a show on YouTube, which is titled Tone Talks. And he also runs like a Dash radio station. Now, I'm telling you guys this information because it is very important and it's very imperative to the elevation of the Black community. Now, I see a lot of people on CNN, MSNBC, a lot of candidates that are running for presidency are speaking on this ADOS movement. Now, again, this movement is to get reparations for the things that our ancestors have went through during their time here in America. We have been oppressed. It's no secret. We have been oppressed since we stepped foot on this country, on this soil. Our ancestors have been beaten, burned. They have been forced to work for free labor. They have actually been the mule that has moved this country. Like a lot of landowners or slave masters have wealth that they were able to compound because of the work of our ancestors. So the ADOS movement is actually a movement who is trying to get reparations for the things that our ancestors went through. Now, a lot of people will say that we don't deserve reparations, but here's the thing. There's a thing in America called the racial wealth gap. And in that racial wealth gap, it basically measures the median amount of wealth between white people and Black people. Now, with all this data and all the numbers, they analyzed all these factors, and they have come to the conclusion that the reason why the majority of the millionaires in the world are white is because of slavery. Now, during slavery, they were able to compound their wealth. And then once slavery was abolished, they created all different types of Jim Crow laws, black codes, redlining, which was created by the Federal Housing Authority to keep Black people from elevating and from moving into good communities. Or they were redlining the Black communities, labeling them as a bad community so that that neighborhood wasn't worth any money. So, again, once those laws came into effect, a lot of property owners didn't want to rent to Black people, and they only rented to white people, which allowed them to, again, compound their wealth and to keep it and to create businesses on those lands that Black people were not allowed the opportunity to do so. The racial wealth gap is also perpetuated by mass incarceration of Black people. We all know that once they ended slavery, they still needed a workforce behind their labor so that they could continue to compound their wealth. So they would enslave our Black men and our Black people in large numbers, and we know that they are still disproportionately enslaving our Black people till this day. So because of these factors and many other factors that I'm not going to get into right now, but I am going to do a video explaining the racial wealth gap for those who don't understand it. It's a very serious thing that's going on in our society, and reparations tie into that racial wealth gap. We as a society are quickly becoming the majority in the nation. Now, it's nothing due to anything that we're doing. It's simply by nature. Like, God is really weeding out white people. Like, it's just biologically happening. It's nothing that we're doing. They are just dying off faster than they are being born. And it's been projected that white people will become the minority in 2045. So this upcoming presidential election for 2020 is a major thing that's going on. This ADOS movement is a major movement that is going on and is taking place in the grassroots of America. Now, for those of you guys who are scripturally inclined and who have been indoctrinated, you understand the scriptures say that for 400 years, we will be enslaved in a land that is foreign to us. And then after those 400 years that, we will come out of that enslavement. Well, it's no secret that this year marks the 400th anniversary when slaves arrived right here in my hometown of Virginia. It marks the 400-year anniversary. So this is our time. It is prophetic. It is spiritual. This is our time. So I'm saying that it's our time to say, I am so tired of seeing a lot of different people, black people especially, coming up against the movement. Right now, we do not need to be coming against each other, coming against this movement. We need to be able to support each other and present this movement as a unified front. The only way to elevate our nation, we have to be unified. For some reason, we just can't get along. Well, I know the reason. We have been socially engineered to be this way. But that's a whole nother video, which I'm going to definitely get into that as well. A lot of you guys may not be familiar with COINTELPRO and a lot of things that the government, the CIA, has leaked. And we have found out information that they have been trying to prevent a rise of the Black Messiah. So it's a lot of things that's going on subconsciously in the atmosphere that are programming us, programming our minds, and programming our children. And it's a shame that we are in a time where we have been programmed to come against one another. We black people, we will come against anything. Now, to see videos on YouTube of people coming against this movement, it blows me. All you have to do is take a look at your lineage, a look at your heritage, a look at your culture, a look at history, and see the role that white supremacy has played in the oppression of our people. It has become a sad day when you get criticized for standing up for what you believe in, for wanting to be free. It's a natural thing to want to be free. Everybody wants to be free. Even animals want the right to be free. That's why you have to lock away animals in cages at the zoo, because they want to be free. There's nothing wrong with that. So for the ADOS movement to come up and say that we want to be free from oppression, and we have people in blackface who look like us, who want to come against us and be divisive towards us and divide this movement, it's really sad. It's really sad. It's sad. So I am here to let you guys know that there is a revolution that is taking place. And this revolution must be popularized. This revolution will be televised, and it must be popularized. You have the responsibility to get the word out. Spread the word. Yvette Carnell and Antonio Moore, they also have a conference coming up. That conference is coming up in October of this year. I'm trying to get a bus together for my hometown of Virginia to go ahead to that conference, because we need to stand together and band together and speak against the oppression that's going on in this society. They have come up with a black agenda, in which I'm seeing black folks get on here and go up against that agenda. Now, the same way that you got on YouTube and you clicked and made your video, it's the same way you could have got inside of their DMs and contacted them. You can find them on social media. You can find them. You can email them. Like, they have plenty of platforms where you can go to and talk to them personally, discuss your issue, and then come to a resolution. Everything does not have to be on YouTube for everybody to judge. Like, you are giving people the ammunition to put in their gun and shoot down the movement. So I'm calling on you. If you believe in this movement and you know that your ancestors died in this country and did not receive anything for over 400 years, and us as descendants are still being oppressed to this day, it's okay to stand up against that. Now, I don't know what has been going on in time past, because I was not here. But what I can tell you is that there is a new crop of Negro that is on the horizon, and we will not be shaken, and we will not be moved, and we will not be scared or forced to be afraid to stand up for what is natural. For so long, the American people, the land of America, the powers that be, have taken away and stripped us of our natural identity. All of us keep saying that we're ADOS. We don't even know, to be honest with you, because we don't even know who we are, because that has been, our culture has been stripped from us. It's nothing wrong with being born into your own culture. It's nothing wrong with cultural nationalism. And that I speak that to every culture, to white culture, to Black culture, ADOS culture, Hispanic culture, Mexican. It's nothing wrong with being born into your culture. Now, what is wrong when you think your culture has to dominate society? That's what's wrong. Your way is good for your people, which has been proven countless times. And our way is good for our people. And any other type of ethnic group, their way, their cultural ways, their traditions are good for them. But when we came here to America, we were stripped of that. So that's why we have a lot of people lost. So right now, we are trying to find ourselves. There is a great awakening going on. So I urge you to be a part of the movement. Stand up. Thank you so much for listening. I hope this has pierced your heart. I hope that you will stand up for what is right. I hope that you understand that just because we label ourselves as ADOS, we are not taking anything away from anyone else. We are just recognizing who we are. And we get the right to determine who we are. We get the right. We reserve the right to make up our own definitions, to describe our own identity. We do not have to take on the labels that were given to us. So if we stand up and if we say we would like to be characterized and addressed and known as the American descendants of slaves, then guess what? We are going to be characterized and known as the American descendants of slaves. We have to stop using these white definitions and use the right definitions. See, white definitions, they were given to us. But we have to look inside. We have to know who we are, family. If you know who you are, you can correctly identify and define yourself. Now, another problem that I'm seeing up here is a lot of people who are in power, such as like the Roland Martins of the world, the Joy Reids of the world, people who are, in contact with CNN, MSNBC, things like that, for them to get up there and publicly try to denounce us and say that we are Russian bots, it's ridiculous. But I want you guys to keep in mind that they are only doing their job, because once we as a nation come together and speak eloquently and intelligently and fluently about ourselves and what we will and will not stand for, once we do that, they're out of a job. See, their job is to keep us in place, to keep us docile. But we have the right to stand up for what we believe in. And who gave them the power to speak for us? I didn't. I certainly didn't give them the power to speak for me. You have the power. We have the power as a group, as a nation, to become a nation within a nation. But we need to all be on the same page and on the same accord and on the same code. The ADOS movement is not taking anything away from any other cultures who were enslaved. But what we are saying is that you have to take up your justice claim within your own party. We are taking up our justice claim within our party because that's what we're concerned about right now. It has been proven that no one in the world is concerned about our issues. No one. We have immigrants who come in and do better than us, people who were born here. So we've given you guys the opportunity to label us for 400 years. But on the 400th year, the 400th anniversary of slavery, of chattel slavery, on this land, in this state in which I was born and raised, Virginia, I will not be defined by what you call me, but I will be defined by what I call myself. No, I'm not a bot. No, I'm not Russian. But what I am is here. What I am is black. What I have been is oppressed. what my ancestors have been is oppressed, killed. And we deserve the right to finally have full equality, not just saying, oh, we equal. No, we need economic equality as well. So that's what we're fighting for. And the basis behind the movement is the racial wealth gap. And again, I will come and make a video regarding that. So you guys, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. I just wanted to touch bases with you and just give you a little update on what's going on with the ADOS movement. I want to encourage you guys to stay strong, stay powerful, stay empowered, and most importantly, free yourself. God bless.